Всем привет, добро пожаловать из Muscovites. Now, today I want to take you to one of the oldest, most famous streets in all of Moscow. Now, in the 18th century, Russian nobility saw this as being one of the most prestigious places in Moscow to live. Now, today what I want to do is go down there and have a look to see if it still is that way or if it's a tourist hotspot. Come with me as we go check out Arbat Street. Now, if you've seen my video about my top 5 metro stations, you might recognise this place. We came out at Arbat Station and we checked out this cinema, but I remember it was raining and I was wet, cold and hungry and I didn't stay for long. I can't remember the name of it, maybe I could put it on the screen. But I've seen quite a few movies there. They show some English movies as well, movies with subtitles. There's one main hall with lots of seats and there's 2 smaller ones that are very intimate. You can take a nice drink in. It's very nice. Okay, here we are, Arbat Street at the beginning. Now, originally formed in the 15th century, it makes it one of the oldest surviving streets in the whole of Moscow. It was originally formed as a trade route. It's long been known as one of the most prestigious parts of Moscow. In the 18th century, of course, it was one of the most prestigious places to live. Now, if as I look up, I can see apartments. So I guess people still do live here, but of course, on the ground level, there's a lot of souvenir shops, bars, restaurants, etc. And actually, I'm going to take you to one of my favourite restaurants for Russian food. But let's go have a look at a souvenir shop. These little Russian dolls, we all know about those, don't we? When we were kids, you could take one, the smaller one comes out. And of course, the Russian hats. Now in winter, you do see a lot of guys wearing these. Maybe not the pink one, but definitely the black one. Now, if you see my video with Lisa, which I'll link just now, that stuff's called gel, very popular in Russia. Now you'll notice these beautiful street lamps that are situated all along the street, and of course we have these things here where artists will set up and sell their art. Now, nothing historical here, but as you can see, you might recognise this, Stars Coffee. Well, you might recognise the font and the badge. It is of course Starbucks with a different name. As we all know, the last few years a lot of companies have pulled out of Russia, and really all they've done is change the name. Now, I don't think it's the same ownership, of course, but it's the exact same product that they're selling. Stars Coffee, Starbucks. Vkусная точка is McDonald's. We got my personal favourite, Donato, which is Dunkin' Donuts, and there's a few more. If I can remember them, then I'll let you know. It's always the same font, the same sign, the same product that they're selling. Now, if you know who that is in the comments section, please type to me and let me know. This official army looking guy on Arbat. Okay, I've had my Stars Coffee, which is definitely not Starbucks, and I'm energised. Okay, let's go. Let's check out the rest of Arbat Street. guided tour happening there. And I did notice in my Shabalovskaya video in some of the comments, most people were very nice. Some people were saying that I didn't show the tower in Shabalovskaya, and how could I possibly show a shawarma place and a shisha place but not show the big transmission tower. Please remember, if you're watching my videos, I've only lived here 7 months. I don't know everything, and obviously I don't really think people want me just to Google some facts and then read them out as if I do know and just pretend to know. Now, check this guy out on his balcony. I mean, is that a good spot to live? It's very central and, you know, it's beautiful around here, but then you're right above a shawarma place that's blasting music, so I'm not sure. I'm really interested to hear from the locals. What do you think of Arbat Street? Because of course it's very central, it's very historical, it's got some beautiful architecture, but again, of course, it's got all the little tourist shops selling souvenirs, bars, restaurants, a lot of places you walk past, they play music quite loud. Do locals, do you come here? Do you enjoy it here? Or do you think this is more for tourists? Okay, so I found something quite beautiful. We got the, hopefully I'm saying it right, Princess Turandot fountain and monument. Здравствуйте. Это очень красивая собака. Okay, next to that statue and fountain monument is the Vatangov Academic State Theatre. Again, correct me if I'm saying it wrong, please. Now, here we've got souvenir. This is what's happening today. And Zavtra. What's happening tomorrow? I'm not going to read it all out to you. I'm sure you don't need me to read it to you and be saying everything wrong. Looks like some kind of restaurant called 16 Tons. But of course the building itself looks extremely beautiful. I love how you have the buildings painted in a certain way. Probably not the best at describing it, but sort of this one is sort of blocked off in a sort of pastelish pink. Then the one next to it, you've got the yellow across there. In my opinion, this end of Arbat Street seems to be a little bit more beautiful. Another Stars Coffee. Just like Starbucks, you don't have to walk far to see a Stars Coffee. But yeah, I'm starting to prefer this end. Again, we got the yellow, then the green, then the yellow again. Now, I would love it if someone could describe to me the significance of the, well, I suppose you would call it a dome on the top of the churches. Is it just architectural, or does it have some significance with the religion? Please put it in the comments section if you can tell me. Okay, let's get back onto the main Arbat Street. Here we have a monument for the poet Bulat Okudzava. Again, correct me if I'm saying it wrong. I didn't know much about him, but I did some reading, and he's very famous for writing many songs and poems about this street. Seems to be quite a lot of Chinese tourists doing some kind of walking tour here. So Russians, locals, do you enjoy when you have the tourists come to your city? Especially the one when they're in the big groups? Or do you tend to stay away from the tourist heavy areas? Let me know. So I guess we're pretty much at the end of the street. Thought I was going to get run over again. So I'm going to go to my favourite restaurant for Russian food. I'll take you in there. Just before we do, Vakusna и точка, which means delicious and that's all. It's McDonald's. You go in there, everything's exactly the same. So Stars Coffee, Vakusna и точка, Donato. If you want your Western foods, that's where to go. Okay, we're going to go in here. It's called Varinichnaya. It's one of my favourite restaurants for sort of easy Russian food, sort of homemade vibe. Again, if you're Russian, maybe you think, oh, this place is a chain. It's probably not your favourite, but for me, I like it. So we're going to go in here. We're going to have some Russian food. Okay, there we have it. That was Arbat Street in the centre of Moscow. Now let me know what you think. Is it as prestigious as it once was, or is it a place for tourists to buy cheap souvenirs? Now, as always, thank you very much for watching. Please click on one of the other videos on the screen. Maybe you want to see the 5 best metro stations or a tour of my neighbourhood. Anyway, I'll see you in the next video. Do svidaniya.